Good evening, YouTubers. I could hardly wait to bring you this vlog. I think it's the excitement of birthing something new. It's like, it's fresh, it's exciting. But again, very raw. So I get that my videos lack lighting and things of that nature, but I really need to be free from pride, and I really need to be free from perfectionism. Like, those things have truly kept me bound and kept me from doing things that I could have been doing all along. Um, and I get that things should be done in excellence, and eventually they will. I'm sure in time the videos will be magnificent and of superb quality. But right now, I just need to get it out before I lose my nerve. Um, but I was very excited about this particular vlog because, again, we're getting into the meat of the matter. And this particular topic tonight was again inspired by Iyanla Vanzant and the piece that she did on Oprah about daddyless daughters. So without any further delay, because I can't stand long videos where people are just rambling, I'll get to it. So the topic is daddyless daughters, and I don't recall which ladies. She spoke to several ladies on the show. I encourage you to watch it if you haven't already watched it. But she asked the magic question. She popped the question that just brought me to my knees. So she asked the lady, what is the story that you tell yourself about yourself that keeps you in the situations that you're in? And I was like, So, I had my paper and pen ready, and I'm actually just going to read to you what I wrote, as I took notes and I acted like she was talking to me. And this is what I said. I said, the story that I tell myself about myself that's kept me in the situation I'm in is that my needs are not as important as others. I don't believe I can have what I want. And then she talked about telling, or 3 steps to making a better life or overcoming being a daddyless daughter. And the first step is tell the truth. So, fill in the blank. I am a daddyless daughter. I acknowledge that I feel worthless sometimes. And what I do to mask it is overcommit. I've gotten better, but I do overcommit. I overcompensate in the worst way. I overachieve. I have to do things perfectly and excellently or not at all. And I have found that I choose mates who appear confident, strong, and loyal so that they'll stick around. I don't want to feel abandoned again. The truth is, there is a part of me that feels broken and powerless sometimes. And I want to define the reason why I consider myself daddyless, and perhaps it hasn't impacted me, or I didn't think it had impacted me as much as I've seen it impact other women. And one is because I'm daddyless because my father has a mental illness, so he doesn't have the capacity to be involved in my life. So I've always given my father a pass for that reason, and I know who he is. I've always known who he is. He just doesn't have the capacity to be involved, actively involved in my life as a father. But I love my father. I respect him. I acknowledge him. I call him dad. But I've never had a father-daughter relationship with my father. But I still feel the impact, and I have still had a void, and I've still felt abandoned as a result of not having my father in my life. And I'm still impaired when it comes to having a healthy relationship with a male. So another thing that was very enlightening for me about this particular episode was that I wasn't sure. I couldn't tell how that had manifested in my life until I watched this episode. And so I realized, it was like things were just dropping in my spirit. It was just it's so awesome to get clarity about some things that have kept you bound. for so long. Oh, I'm so grateful. I'm really going to try not to get emotional. But pattern, so I'm assessing myself. I'm looking at patterns that I've had in relationships, not only relationships with men, but relationships with friends and, you know, professionals and familiar relationships. But I see that I have relied on others too much for validation, and I've relied on others too much for approval, and I've clung to people that I should have let go, or I never should have held on to in the first place, because I didn't want to be alone. I did not want to feel abandoned. And oh my goodness, again, Iyanla Vanzant, she does not even know how much she's poured into my life. Not yet, but I believe she will know before it's all said and done. But I was watching one of her episodes on the R Spot. I believe it was entitled "You Are the One." Oh my goodness. So she just talked about the thing that fuels us about being in a relationship with somebody else is it's not about the other person, but it's because of this other person. This person causes you to see that you actually have the capacity to love, and shows you the depth at which you have to love another human being. And that's what fuels you, and that's what excites you. So my loving relationships have been about my capacity to love, not about the other people who I choose to make the object of my affection. So she's like, you are the one that you need to love. You are the one that you want to love. So why not take that love that you have for somebody else and turn it on you? Or turn it on someone else, someone who's, you know, perhaps more deserving. And I was like, oh my God. Again, she is absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. Our relationships are about who we are in them. And our relationships of all kinds are designed to show us who we are, to show us the stories that we tell about ourselves, the beliefs that we hold about ourselves. Because bottom line is, we won't enter into a relationship with anyone who's not reflecting or mirroring to us what we think we deserve. And that's just the truth. And that's a relationship of any kind. So again, I had my aha moment, and I realized where I've settled, where I really have settled and stayed in relationships that I should not have been in far too long, because I didn't want to feel abandoned. So I'm telling you guys, I am just lit and trying not to ramble. This video is already 8 minutes long. I'm going to wrap it up. I didn't even talk about the title. You'll see. I mean, you see the title. The title is the damage that being a daddyless daughter has caused. And while I see it as minuscule compared to most, it's been damage done. You know, it's impaired my relationships. I have not had the most fulfilling relationships that I could possibly have. But now that I know the truth, I can fix it, and I can, take steps to have a better relationship first and foremost with myself. And it's like, now that I have this truth, I feel like I don't even need a relationship, because I can love on me. I can pursue my purpose. I can pursue my passion, and that is just as fulfilling. But I'm sure I will find a love, because I believe that my God promised me love like he loves, manifested by a fine man in flesh. And I believe him, and I take him at his word, but I'm willing to wait on him, because when he does it, it is beyond I can ever imagine, ask, or think. And it's certainly worth the wait. And in the meantime, I get to do things like this, bare my soul with you, in hopes that you are inspired, you are touched, and you are enlightened. So thank you so much for tuning in. And please know that you don't have to settle, and you don't have to give up on your dreams, because dreams do come true even after disappointments. Blessings.